harassment and thuggish behavior that has been inflicted upon them. But I'm not the only fighter, they are. And I thank them and I thank you for attending. What I am advocating is that, other than boring you with what I'm going to repeat, is that where we're at, I was invited to pass out some literature at the labor parade yesterday. And I was calling for a general strike. And I flat out, in front of Tim Paulson's face, gave him the handout. He looked at me and said, "Good luck." And you know what? That's how our Labor Council sees the labor movement and in representation of our rights, if we have anything left. Brenda over here, I was shocked. That woman was, I think they're still giving you a bad time for speaking power to the truth, or truth to power, because the San Francisco Labor Council are just the minions of management, of city and county politics. I personally feel that Tim Paulson creams all over himself when he gets near Nancy Pelosi. And I know that's a really gross thing to say, but let's make the impact clear. These people are not here for our interests. The Labor Council is not here for our interests. I don't think any of these union heads are here for our interests, so what does it take? I don't know, I was just exhausted, and my husband and I were watching the 1934 crisis in union activity and how the rich really rule this country. We don't. And what needs to change here? The dynamics need to change. You always will have to be braver and more courageous than the rest to really speak the truth, because that is the worst thing you can do in this country, as we all know. And when you do tell the truth, there are consequences. So be very, very careful. They were pushed around. When I tried with others in this room, other labor union, we believe in union, meaning the members rule the union. They decide, they participate, they call the shots. Not the San Francisco Labor Council, which to me is a joke, because they don't represent our interests, they represent management's interests, and whoever's paying their bill. We need to become more mobile. Why am I here? I'm not going to regurgitate any more information, although I do call, and I hope you will be kind enough to listen to Patrick Monette-Shaw. He's very acidic, but he tells the truth. He's very accurate in his details because he does the research and the work, as well as all these women here. And he's been through a decertification drive that we tried to do from SEIU. Be very, very worried about Andy Stern. Why am I saying that? Because it comes back to what Bea said, Social Security. He bought his way with $18 million into the Obama administration. He sits on a very critical committee. The Social Security future of our nation is now being worked on by Andy Stern. We have one of his little disciples, Bob Muscat. He now sits as the head of PEC. Who elected him? I don't know. Does he ever... Brenda told him, you made decisions last time without consulting our union, our workers. Well, if that wasn't bad enough, now SEIU does its own reopening of contracts without advising the union members. But what I'm saying to you is be very afraid, be very, very afraid. Because if you don't get out of your seats and speak and tell the truth to others who you will urge to vote no on C and D, nothing's going to get done. The only reason we've come to this point is because we have Steve Seltzer and his patient wife, thank God that she's there, always backing him up. And we have militants in this room who say, enough already. We have Brenda who's going to shout the truth, and they boo her down and they try to shut her up. And you're right. Now the activists, the loudmouths, the people who speak the truth are regulated like a Gestapo agency. We're regulated to a corner. We all have to sit together. You know, F you. I will sit when I want. I pay your union, wages here. My dues pay you. And you're telling me to shut up. Well, you don't do that to a woman. Not to me. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, what do we take out of this room? We take out the fact that you should be outraged. The union movement now is when Harry Bridges started speaking out. he was disgusted with what they were doing. And unless we take it back, unless we go out there and tell other people, take your union back, start working on, take the time to go out there. TV's not worth it. It's another way of trying to control you. Movies are not worth it. It's another way of trying to feed you some crap that you don't need. You don't need to go shopping because you've got what you need. So what do? You make social change. Sitting here, okay, so you're not at home feeding the kids, the dog, and the husband. You know, you've got to change their future. We've got to change our own future. And if we don't do it, nobody's going to do it because they want you to die and go away. The fact that they disrespected seniors, the very people who have come to this place in our economy, that's unforgivable. And what it tells me, it's social and economic genocide. If you're over 30, hit the door.